ಯಾಕಮ್ಮ ಪೂರ್ವಿ ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹ್ಮ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಳಿ ತಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ? ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ನಿನ್ನದು? ನೀವು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ನೀನು? ಒಂದು 3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಸರ್. ನೀನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡೆ?
analytical ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ರಿವಿಷನ್
ಓಕೆ.
ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್
Okay. So child sex ratio, sharp decline in the Bengaluru urban. Okay. So what it shows? See here, state average is 934. Okay, in 2019, it is 947 in 2020. Again, the same. And now it is coming back to 929. Child sex ratio means the number of female per thousand. Correct? So here it is increasing 934, 947, 47. Again, it is coming back to 929. Okay. So, and that too, they are saying that in Bengaluru, okay, it is declined. Sex ratio declined. That. Just quickly.
determination of sex.
So even today it is happening. So even though it is a criminal offense, so even especially capital city, that what is the meaning of that? Whether they are from other district or somewhere, but they are coming to Bangalore and getting done. That's it. Correct. So even so how much it is important awareness and also that. Okay. So and the lowest child sex ratio is recorded Chikballapur 868. Okay. So Bangalore urban, that is also reducing. Sex ratio in this is dropped from 1269 to see 949. How much? See 1269 to 949, almost 300 points. Earlier it was like female ratio is highest, then it has come down below. Okay. So especially those who are planning for interview and all. Okay. So they can use this data because they definitely they will be asking based upon their district. So how is your district performing? What are the reasons behind that? So they will ask such questions. Okay. See here, the almost all states, everything they are giving, and based upon the Karnataka civil registration system data. So opportune moment to rediscover Chennai's with respect to how our river system, our water sources are acting. So Chennai's hydrology. Why Chennai's hydrology? Because continuously, so we are seeing the floods, especially this year flood is highest in 47 years. Okay, in the last 47 years itself, the highest rainfall has recorded. So because of climate change, so rainfall variations, patterns changing. So what can be done? So what they are saying this is an opportune moment. So please understand how actually Chennai's hydrology, the water sources are there and how it is managed. If you are not using this opportunity, again you will fail in the future. Okay. So this can be used like a case study to present your answers. So taking the example of Chennai. So these many rivers are there, these many lakes are there. So what happened? What is the problem? Government or the authorities would have acted on that. So this problem could have been solved. So what are those filling points? So that I will share from this article. Okay. See, in 2005, 15 and 23. Okay. So, but 23 flooding is highest in last 47 years itself because of heaviest rainfall. Okay. Upstream and downstream sheds. Very important for any geographical area. Upstream and downstream watersheds means what is upstream and downstream? So you know that river is flowing from one path to other thing. Okay. So downstream states, that Tamil Nadu is a downstream state for Kaveri. Okay. Karnataka is a upstream state. The same way, you need the watersheds. What is the meaning of watershed? Is it manually or what?
It's manual.
Not even natural also it can be done. So watershed means an area where all the water can be from the different source can be collected, and also from the same point it can be distributed also. Okay. So the watershed point is very, very important for any geographical area. Okay. So Chennai, this para is important from your exam point of view to write the examples. Okay. Chennai city and adjoining districts are richly endowed with wonderful watersheds. There are tanks, some are very large also. Okay. So water collecting point it is. In Kanchipuram, okay, Chengalpattu, Tiruvallur, okay. So and all those things. So 3,500 is not small number. Okay. These are man-made but magnificent watersheds created through the series of earthen embankments. Man-made, and that's what I said, watershed as well as natural. So man-made, this is a boon for that city, but actually they are not using it. Okay, what has happened? So whenever water surplus is there from any, okay, means rivers, so these tanks will cover that. Even in Kaveri issue also, see, we are always fighting between Kaveri issue between two states. What we have to do, that we are not doing. The same case with the Chennai also. Okay, existing water, how to conserve that? See, you look tanks are small. On ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆರೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, it looks very small. Okay, contribution of tanks is huge. If the tanks are maintained properly, that means desiltation. So water capacity should be increased at least to its normal level. Okay, in 3-4 years back in Bengaluru, they did it. Lake rejuvenation activity they have taken. Almost all the lakes of Bengaluru, means one which has extinguished, that is gone. Which are survived, means already now it is there. So they, rejuvenated them. Lake rejuvenation. So whenever the rainfall happens, man, that solves many problems, especially the water problem before that. So many areas were suffering problem. They used to carry water from one area to other area. Got it? So, but because of this lake rejuvenation, underground water, okay, restored in Bangalore. So many areas, especially their borewell started functioning. So again, the water problem to some extent solved. Even I have seen the same thing in our Davangere. Kundwada Kere, okay, so huge lake, okay. So that rejuvenation of that was done. Before that, the problem was very huge. So we used to run for water like anything, here and there. That much problem. Okay. But after that, almost all the borewells restored. Now, no problem at all. Absolutely no problem. Okay, one lake, but whole city is happy because of that. That means how much underground water is important and how a lake can restore it. Okay. Here also the same thing. Whenever the water in large excess, the ponds are the saviors. So they are taking away most of the water for them. But what has happened with Chennai? The same story. The means siltation. So what these tanks are neglected, silted up, broken bunds, means what cannot be stored. It should be closed. Okay, embankment, but it is broken. So water cannot be stored. And control structures. In addition, catchment areas, the flood plains, feeder and supply channels, and even the water spread area in many of these tanks are heavily silted and encroached. Tunnels also silted. What will happen? Water will flow wherever it gets a path. Okay. The net result is a double disadvantage. Water storage in these tanks is very little. One is water problem, and another is runoff is very high. 80% runoff areas. Instead of storing, runoff means it is going out. Spillage. 80% they are saying. Where capacity is 100 liters to store, but here 80 liters is simply flowing. Only 20 liters they are able to store, which has caused heavy damage to the city of Chennai. This is problem number one. You can give Bengaluru example also. See, positive example, Bengaluru, Davangere, but here this is a negative used properly. And so what you can do means simple thing. You have to map the water bodies, okay, in that Chennai metropolitan area. So the area is around roughly 6,000 square kilometer area, total Chennai metropolitan area. So in that area, you completely map where all the water bodies are there. So what they did in Bangalore, the same way. Since these districts are already substantially urban, there is a dire need to protect these water bodies from the encroachment. You know that is the biggest problem in Bangalore also. Majestic, that was a lake. Majestic was a lake. So it has become a bus stand. Okay. And Ejipura area, that is all lake area. So that encroachment. So biggest problem in urban is encroachment. So that lakes cannot be regenerated. Not just tanks, but catchment areas, inlet and surplus channels, foreshore areas, and tank bunds are equally important. There's sending means it is not only about tank, the path where the water flows. Okay. So everything they have to make it clear. The channel should be very clear. The missing links between these tanks need to be restored. It is not like just tank is good and water is not coming. So you need to establish the channel, the network area of the water bodies. Network area of the water bodies is very, very important. Wherever surplus water is, it should easily reach to those tanks. And also they're saying hydro elevation mappings. What is hydro elevation mappings? Means which area is in which level. This mapping will help where easily it will flood. Then action can be taken. ಇರೋಂಥದ್ದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. Hydro elevation means which are of the same level. Okay. Vijayanagar, Basaveshwara, so they comes on the same level. Ijipura, some other areas will come on the down level. So Vidhan Soda and all comes in other level. So if you map all these things, then you can plan how it can be. Means we suppose surplus water flood in some area, how it can be diverted. All those plans can be done. And this is about tanks. Second thing they're talking about rivers. No city, you can say in the world itself, is so much blessed for them instead of becoming a boon because of the administrative failure. Okay, what is that? Chennai means 3 rivers are passing through Chennai city. I'm not talking about Kaveri. I'm talking about Chennai city. 3 rivers are crossing. So ನಮ್ದು ಇರೋದು ಒಂದು ಋಷಭಾವತಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೋರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Okay, but there 3 rivers are there. City to flourish, river plays a dominant role. If Kaveri was not there, Bengaluru, it cannot sustain. If Kaveri is not there, we cannot sustain it. Bengaluru will collapse because no other water source is there. Okay, so existing pond and all that is insufficient compared to the size of Bengaluru. But in Chennai city itself is having the 3 rivers. Water supply kept. Okay, it has 3 waterways. I think America, I think so these kind of cities are there. No, no one that, but that is biggest one. Okay, but anyway, they are saying in whole country or in South Asia itself, no other city is like this blessed. So 3 river names also they have mentioned. Okay, Kotsat Saliyar and also Kokum and one more Adyar. Sorry. Adyar and also Palar. No, 3 rivers. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 out. No. Okay, no problem. The Bay of Bengal. So what else you need for a city like a special metropolitan city with huge population density? So but they are converting it as a bane. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. If Kaveri drains, Kaveri is gone. Underground water is not sufficient. So lake rejuvenation happens only when heavy rainfall means rainfall happens and properly it is stored. But that is not sufficient. Okay, we are completely depending upon Kaveri. And there is a Buckingham Canal, very important, which cuts across all the 4 rivers. What is the advantage of this? Wherever excess flood is, that this canal will balance. All the rivers are connected through a canal. So all flooded water, excess water, everything can be managed through this canal. Okay. So unfortunately, these major drainage systems are in shape due to heavy encroachments. More so on the floodplains. What is flood? This is river. Okay. But usually river will not go in this exactly this way only. So this is normal course. This side, no. Usually whenever this is called as floodplain. Whenever excess water comes, that will flow in that area. This is normal course, but floodplain will be. But in normal time, what you feel like, okay, this is empty area. So people will easily encroach that. Only they will feel that heat when such floodings happen. Uttarakhand flooding, 2013. Exactly the same thing happened. Okay. So these rivers have also lost their gravity and velocity due to the sludge and silt deposits. So obviously, if once the siltation happens, they will become directionless. Okay. Several efforts have been made to restore these rivers as well as the Buckingham Canal, but the condition remains far from satisfactory. Then, third point, tanks, rivers. In rivers, canal also they discussed. And third point, beside these major waterways, many macro and micro drains like Wakam, Maduvu, Mambalam Canal. Okay, no, it's not possible to remember everything, just one or two. Okay, then Oteri Nala. So many things are there. Okay, these drains as well as 2,900 kilometers long storm water drain network constructed on the GCC also deserve a year-long attention and maintenance. So other what need maintenance and rising urban expansion. So keeping the development of the city, population is growing like anything. So the automatically encroachments are happening. So they have to, that Chennai metropolitan area must. What is the status? There only. Every time whenever problem happens, they'll come and make a oh,
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. It's not audible.
then only somebody will write article like this, will take care of it. Every time the same story. Kaveri issue, I said, this moment again. Another 1 month, something it will deviate, rainfall happens, something happens, again they will forget about it. Until next time when the rainfall deficiency. So at least now Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, okay, notify the ecological hotspots, no development zones. Okay, so that is very important. Means it will disturb the what you can say natural means where the trees are there, it will be disturbed, so that it will impact for the immediately saved from floods, while at the same. So if you, it is double advantage is there. If you solve that problem, water problem also will be solved simultaneously. So why can't you do that? ಯಾರೋ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಈಗಲೂ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Sometimes.
ಓಕೆ. ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗೇ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ? ಓಕೆ. So next article, time-honored connect that will help bridge the Gulf. Okay. So Oman, where is Oman?
Middle East.
is about India now. Okay. See, this is Arabian Sea. You know that right side we have India, and this is Gulf of Oman. This is Oman country. This is Gulf of Oman. On top, Iran is there. Okay. So, where it is connecting? The Gulf of Oman is connecting to what? That's what. By the Strait of Hormuz, Gulf of Oman, Arabian Sea. Okay. So, trade routes. In prelims, they will ask such questions only. Or they will mention in the order what is the connectivity. Persian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, Gulf of. So, in order, sometimes they will ask, are this connected to this? Strait of Hormuz connects Persian Gulf to Gulf of Oman. Okay. So, if you see here below, Gulf of Aden. Okay. So, this side, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea connectivity. Okay. ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಗೆ ಓಕೆ ರೆಡ್ ಸಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇದೆ ಸುಯೇಜ್ ಕೆನಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಟರೇನಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಇದು ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಲ್ಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಒಮನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ಹೌ ಒಮನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ this article today makes you to understand the relation. Only you will understand whole world dynamics. Hindi yav matadidivi ide tara. So one or other countries will be in picture, right? So Myanmar, Sri Lanka. ಅದು ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಸಿ ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ USA, ರಷ್ಯಾ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರ್ ದನ್ ದಟ್
ಸೌತ್ ಆಫ್ರಿಕನ್ ಎಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್
ದನ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗಕ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬರಕ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ಬಂತು, ಇಸ್ರೇಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ UAE ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ಅರಬ್ ಎಮಿರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಅವರು ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಓಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೇವಾ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ದಿವಸ ಇರಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ರಿಲೇಷನ್, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ. ಸ್ಲೋ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. ಇವಾಗ ವುಮನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಎಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವುಮನ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇರಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇರಾನ್, ಹಂಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಕುತ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಓದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. Sultan of Oman, okay, visiting India from December 16th on the state visit. This is his first visit to India after taking over. So means after he assuming the power, it's the first visit. So previously our Prime Minister, okay. So Oman is the closest neighbor to India in the Arabian Gulf region. Immediate neighbors, we know that, but the closest neighbor to India in the Arabian Gulf region. If you take Arabian area, so he's the closest neighbor. With key Omani ports abutting the coastline along the Arabian Sea, as well as the Gulf of Oman leading into Persian Gulf towards the Gulf of Aden. So Oman's location is utmost strategic importance to India. Why it is important? Because both the side trade routes. One is this side, below that Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, one important trade route. On top, that is the below Iran. This is the very important trade route. Okay, so that's why for India, this is a key strategic location. Means importance, means woman is important. If we have that good relation, then we can okay. Along with Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, Oman completes the trio of key strategic partners of India in the Gulf region. Below, that's what I'm saying. That Red Sea, Mediterranean area. On top, this Gulf of Hormuz, Gulf of Oman, okay, Persian Gulf. So these are important. So in between these three countries will come. You can see this. Saudi Arabia and UAE and top Oman. If you are having good relation with these three countries, so you can use that path easily. Map barbeku. Okay. So how is our relation with the country? ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಿಮಗೆ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. How to analyze a relation with any other country? ಯಾವ ತರ ನೋಡಬೇಕು? One is people to people. People to people. ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Second, ಮರ್ತ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ? Okay. Cultural connection. Then trade. What is the trade relation? What is the defense relation? These 4 factors, okay, make us to understand how is our relation with other country. ಈ 4 ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. Among this, very powerful is people to people contact. People to people contact is very important. If that is there, other things can happen easily. Got it? Okay. So, with respect to women, first is the ruling family of Oman has always had a strong connection with India. Sultan Qaboos was always favorably disposed towards India and invited Indian companies and professionals to undertake projects. So that means trade relation is good. People to people level to India and Oman enjoy close ties. Large Indian community of almost 7 lakh people. Okay. In Oman. So trade relation is good. Since from the beginning, the always good relation. So they are welcoming Indian projects there. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
ಒಂದ್ ನಿಮಿಷ, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I was telling how the woman relation with India is happening. One is people to people contact is very good. Around 7 lakh people, okay, are there. Indian origin people, Indian people are there. And for trade relation also, the head of those women are welcoming, they are facilitating. And even in olden times, how was the relation? Tough times ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ನ. ಖುಷಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ ಮದುವೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದವನು, ನನ್ನ ಬರ್ಡೇಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದವನು, ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಬಾಟಮ್, ಯಾರು ನಿನ್ ಜೊತೆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು ಟ್ರೂ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಟೈಮ್, okay, so that means USA versus USSR time, even thereafter, when Arab world was largely ambivalent towards India and was often soft and supportive of Pakistan, it was women which kept its door open to India. Other countries were in favor, not in favor. All other the Arab countries and all, but Oman was open for India. Means always supportive. Many examples are also there. So, in a conflict-prone region, you know that Arab area is always conflict, but Oman is a land of peace. Okay, it has pursued a foreign policy which is based on the twin standards of moderation and mediation, including the policy of deliberate neutrality in dealing with regional issues and conflict. That is their foreign policy. Will be neutral, so maintaining peace. Okay, so even India is having the same concept, so easily connected. It has carefully balanced its close relation with Western powers and Gulf cooperation. Okay, and also a practical approach with Iran. So it has maintained a good relation. Maintaining that Strait of Hormuz will not be closed. You know, the top has shown you Strait of Hormuz. So without Iran support, it is difficult to make trade in that area. So that's why Oman has clearly maintained a pragmatic relation. That means very practical relationship with Iran, so that Strait of Hormuz will not be closed and trade will not be hampered. Even during the Persian Gulf crisis, what is this Persian Gulf crisis 2019? You know that America was imposing sanctions on Iran because they were doing nuclear operations. Okay. So at that time, the Persian Gulf crisis, that means sanctions means it cannot be used that easily, and with Iran, the relations will be disturbed. Even at that time, okay. So Oman helped India so to have that smooth trade in that area. When the US and Iran were on the brink of military conflict, it was Oman which played key role in diffusing tensions. So it handled the tensions very well, and also India got benefit out of it. So here they are telling how it is maintaining that neutrality. You know that China brokered some deal in Arab countries. USA came and did it one more deal in that. So Oman was silent. They did not, take the side of one side, means one country, so that it maintained its neutrality. That's what they are signing. Means it is playing a role to diffuse the tensions, to make the friendships, but it is not taking one side. Okay, so that's what they are saying in 2017 also, and in 2020 also. Okay, when Israel, UAE, and Bahrain signed this, we recently saw. So India Women strategic partnership. So this is third angle. People to people trade. Strategic means we are talking about military aspect, defense aspect. So India Women strategic partnership was signed during Prime Minister Manmohan Singh visit to Oman in November 2008. Please remember that. From 2008, our strategic angle. After getting trust only, any two countries will come into strategic partnerships. ಇದು ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು. It is not about remembering. Without trust, no country will do that. Analysis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಲೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. UPSC ನಲ್ಲಿ too much analysis. Analysis is, so whenever there is a trust between two countries, then only the strategic things happen. So from 2008, we are having strategic relation with Oman. That shows that. So our evolving relationship. And it is based on twin pillars of mutual trust and shared interest. ಅದನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So mutual trust and shared interest. ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ benefit ಆಗಬೇಕು. Oman was one of the few countries to have been invited to India to its G20 presidency as a guest nation earlier this year. Whenever our friendship is good, then only we'll invite people, right? Okay. So defense and security engagement form a key pillar of this strategic partnership and are governed by the MOU signed in 2005. Okay. So with respect to defense and security things, it is signed in 2005 MOU. Oman is the first Gulf country with which all the three wings of India defense forces hold joint exercise. See, this is also very important. See, with China, we are having naval exercise. Okay. With all other countries, we are having one, like Army is having exercise, Navy is having, Air Force is doing exercise, joint exercises. But with Oman, yeah, Army, Navy, Air Force, all the three wings are having a joint exercises. That shows that we are having that much strong relationship with them. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? So why actually these joint exercises are required? ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕು? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು? So ultimately, for example, country is attacking us. So ನಾವೇನೋ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. There is no coordination between us. ನಮ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ ರೀತಿ ಬೇರೆ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. How to coordinate? These exercises help us to work together when there is a emergency. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ನಾವ್ ಒಂಥರ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅವ್ರೊಂಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗಾನ್ 1857 ವಾರ್ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. No proper communication, no proper planning. So for that purpose, they will be having those kind of exercises to understand each other, how to cooperate during the needy time, emergency time. So that's a joint exercise. So Oman is the country which is having all the three. Okay. Indian naval ship has remained on duty in the Gulf of Oman for anti-piracy operation. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ cooperation? One ship ನಮ್ ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವಾಗಿದ್ದ? 10 years ಇಂದ. 10 years ಇಂದ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. Oman has allowed overflights transit by Indian military aircraft to. So ನಮ್ದು ಅವ್ರ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಚೈನಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಓಪನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಲೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರು. ಅದು ವಾರ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳು ಇರ್ತವೆ. ವಾರ್ ನಡೆದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಭಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ರೂಲ್ ಅಂತೂ ಸಿವಿಲಿಯನ್ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಏನೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಲೈ ಆಗಿ ಹೊಡೆದು ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಮಿಲಿಟರಿ ಏರ್ಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಓಮನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾರಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. In recent years, both countries have cooperated in ensuring maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. And during Persian Gulf crisis, Indian Navy launched Operation Sankalp to ensure safe passage of Indian flag ships. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ women support ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. Otherwise, they will be blocked, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So the safe passage was possible because of women good relation. Operation Sankalp ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಒಂದೇ ಭಾರತ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಇದು ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ದ ಶಿಪ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಶಿಪ್ಸ್. So our trade and commerce, bilateral trade is 12 billion. Okay. There are 6,000 Indian women joint ventures in the Oman with an estimated investment of 7.5 billion. Okay. And we are taking crude oil from Oman. Next, key footprint of India's initiative in promoting digital public infrastructure in the world. And other areas also, both countries are working together, like rare earth metals. Okay. And what is rare earth metal? You know that for electronic industry, which are very essential, rare earth metals. So, and also focusing on India, Middle East, Europe connectivity, because that route is there like that. And one more proposal is South Asia Gas Enterprise, SAGE. So to connect a gas pipeline, 1,000 sea pipeline from Oman to India, gas pipeline. 1,400 deep sea pipeline. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬಂತಾ? ಸೊ ಒಮನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಓಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ, ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ನಮಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಬಟ್ ಒನ್ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮ್. This is about political thing after election. So what is the burden on the government? And this is inflation. So many times we have discussed Exports shrink again. Trade deficit narrows as imports fall faster. So line by line, exports shrink. Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? Bad. But trade deficit is coming down. Is it good or bad? It is good. Okay. So on this, the question people, they will ask in good or bad.
Not considerably so bad. ನಾವು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದಾಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ನಿಮ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Don't go simply okay trade quickly. I'll explain. ಈಸಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್, ವೆನ್ ಅವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್, ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ ನಿತ್ಯ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, that is a income. Import is expenditure, correct? So trade deficit kadame irbeka ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು? There are different scenarios. Okay, so if the export is very high, that 100 rupees is the 120. Normal scenario will take like 100. So trade deficit means zero now. 100 rupees export ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 100 rupees import ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಳಿತೀವಿ. Trade deficit is zero. Assume that import is 105 rupees. Trade deficit is 5 rupees we have to spend from our pocket. Second scenario, export is 200, import is 210. Or assume that import is 205. What is trade deficit now? 5. Trade deficit in second case is also 5. Trade deficit in first case is also 5. Are they same? Both are good? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? Here you cannot say same. Here our income has also increased. Our import has also increased. Here income and import means export and import on the same level. Nodak ಹೊರಗಡೆ number of okay, but our export improve means it shows that what is the improve in the trade level. Import increase shows the lifestyle increase, quality of life has increased. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರೋಲ್ಸ್ ರಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ inability of the Indian government or Indians to produce something. ಅದು you cannot say just because trade deficit 5 means both the same cases. Definitely not. I will say 1,000 is the export, 1,005 is the import. Still you want to say the same thing? ಹಂಗಾರೆ 5 ಸರ್ 1919 ಅಲ್ಲೂ 5 ಇತ್ತು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್, ನೋ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ 5. ನೋ ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆಗೂ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕೇಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈ, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೋ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗುಡ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೋ ಅಂತ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್? ಆಯ್ತು, ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರ ಅದೇ ನಂಬರ್ ತಗೋತೀನಿ. ಏನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ? ನಾನು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಚುಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯೂ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಿ. ಒಟ್ಟೇನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಮೋರ್, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಡೆಫಿಸಿಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್. ಈ ಬೈನರಿ ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಗಳು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. ಹೇಳಿ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೈ, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್? ವೈ ನೋ? ಅವರು ರಾಂಗು, ನೀವು ರಾಂಗು. ಸರ್ ಇರೋದೇ ಎರಡು ಆನ್ಸರ್, ಎರಡು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ನೋ ಅಂದ್ರಿ? ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ? ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಮೋರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದೆ. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ? ಇದೇ ನೋಡಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿದು ನಮಗ್ ನಾವೇ ಏನೋ ಅಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ನಾನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ? ಅದು ಒಂದಿದೆ, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್. ಅದು ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಸಾರ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾಟನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್. ಅದು ನಾವೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೀಗ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರುಪಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾನಿಟರಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೆಸ್, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್? ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೆಡ್ ಈಸಿ ಇದಾವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಹಾಕಿ ಬರ್ತೀರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇನ್ನೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್, ಓಕೆ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ದಿಸ್ crude oil. We take crude oil from other countries, we refine it and again export it. ತಗೊಂಡು ಕ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ರಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ನ ವಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡು ಯು ಸೇ that this import of crude oil is bad? It is income generating. You are taking 100 liters, 100 barrels. Okay, you are almost 80 barrels you are exporting. If you don't import, you will not export. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Then how can you say that all imports are bad? ಇದನ್ನ ತಲೆನ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Simply don't say import is bad. Because of that import, export is also increasing. ಆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಕಂಟ್ರಿದು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಏರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ more. So no. If import is export oriented, then it is income fetching. Because of that import, I am earning something. Suppose that import is stopped, your export is also reducing. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? The same way, just okay, exports are high and imports are okay. Next question, exports always beneficial for India. ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ತಲೆಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಒಂದಂತೂ ತಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಏನೋ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಂತಷ್ಟೇ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಈ ತರದ್ದು ಒಂದಿದೆ. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ಖರ್ಚೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಅನ್ಬೇಡಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ದು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಲ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ, ಸರಿನಾ? ಆಯ್ತು. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ, ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ. ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಗಳು ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ ತಗೋತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಜನರಲ್ ಎಸ್, ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಎಸ್. ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ನೀವೇ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ದ ಬ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಆನಿಯನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಸೊ when the country is under problem, if exports are increasing, that creates problem for the country. ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ, ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ರೈಸ್ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will be suffering under inflation, ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವಾಗ. Exports continuously increasing does not mean that it is always good. In general it is good. Words ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, in general it is good. But always you cannot say, sir, by exporting more and more. No. If you are creating problems, scarcity problem within the country and you are exporting, that is also not good. Tale hoita? So don't simply write answer like, okay, that is good. So ಈ ಹೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವ್ನು ತಲೆಗೆ ಓಡುತ್ತೆ ಈ ತರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಎಲ್ಲೋಯ್ತದ? ಸರಿ. See, export shrink again. Trade deficit narrows. Trade deficit is coming down as imports fall faster. See, trade deficit is coming down. It looks good for you, but why it is coming down? Because imports are falling faster. We are importing less. So it is not good thing. Export increase, import keep the same, that is good. Trade deficit ನೋಡಬೇಡಿ number 5 ನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Here exports are coming down, that is bad. Because of the trade deficit is coming down. Imports are falling down. Imports falling, that is good thing. ಸರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೈಂಗ್ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ. ಇನ್ ಜನರಲ್, ಸರ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್, ಗುಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್. Because of that, trade deficit is coming narrow. 105 rupees import ittu, 100 rupees export it. Now export has become 90 rupees. Import has become 93 rupees. Trade deficit is 3. Earlier trade deficit is 5. Now you feel trade deficit is coming down, sir. But bad thing, exports are not improving. Import is falling down, export is falling down, but import is more falling. Idea barta? This is how they will. You can read this. Means
Here down. Trade is not a one-way.
ಇರಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಪ್ಪ?
Last para, commerce secretary. Trade is not a one-way traffic.
ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. So same thing you can write in your exam. Trade is not one-way traffic and should be seen in the global context. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ? GDP growth is not high in many countries and interest rates have not gone down. Although global trade is suffering, we are holding Fort and exports have beat by significant margin. They are selling that it looks less compared to whole world, our still more ಅಂತ. ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬೆಟರ್ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಬಿಡಿ. ಎಷ್ಟಿದಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? Okay. The green shoots we saw in the last couple of months have stabilized. Exports have been positive in November and higher than overall exports of same month. He said, referring to the total tally of merchandise exports and estimated service. Green shoots ಯಾವ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕದು, ನಾಳೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡಿ. What is that green shoots? Okay.
ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಎರಡು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಸರ್?
ಹೌದು, that's why see import is coming down fastly. I gave the example. Import was earlier 105, now it is 93. Export was 100, now it is 90. Example. So import reduced by 12, export reduced by 10. So it looks trade deficit is less. Both are down. Why it is trade deficit has come down? Because exports is falling. Import is falling more compared to exports. Okay. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತೇನಮ್ಮ?
Yes, sir.
Okay.